What is the cost of living in the Netherlands? Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is giftegwuenu. In this video, I am going to be sharing my experience so far living in the Netherlands. If you don't know yet, I moved here a couple of months ago. Actually, I moved here a month and a few weeks ago, right, in October, and I actually made a video detailing the whole process. If you want to watch the video, if you haven't watched that video, which I think you should, I'll link it somewhere here so you can take a look at it. But this is a sequel to that video. Basically, people asked me to also share my experience living here, and this is what I'm doing. I've only been here for like a month, like I mentioned, a month plus. So in this period, I have been able to settle in and, you know, blend into the way things work here. But before I did all of this, or in the process of doing all of this, I had different experiences, right? Some are outright funny, some are hilarious. Obviously that meant funny as well. Some are, whenever I think about it, I just shake my head because, oh my god, Gift, how did you not know this? But anyway, I am going to be sharing all of that with you in this video. I hope you enjoy it. But before we move on, I would just like to ask you for a little tiny bit of favor. I would like for you to like this video and also give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and let's move on. So I moved here October 21st, 22nd to be precise, and I made, like I said earlier, I made a video about the process and everything. So after spending a week here, I had a couple of experiences that I would like to share. But before I move on to that, first I would like to talk about a couple of things before talking about my experience. The first thing I would like to talk about is the cost of living. So is it very, very expensive living here, or is it cheap, or is it like in the middle? These are questions people asked me, and well, I would say all of the things that I'm going to be talking about are based on my own experiences and based on how I actually manage money and spend money. So don't think that what works for me, in some certain cases it will work for you as well, but don't take my word as the only thing that you can stick to. Really, I'm just sharing my experience. So let's start with cost of living. I'll generally say it's very affordable to live here if you're living within your means. What this means is if you're earning a specific amount of money and you are able to live within that range, or actually spend within that range, or even less than, really, because you have to also save and invest your money as well, then you're great, like you're settled, like you don't have anything to worry about. But on the other hand, if you're earning a specific amount and you're living extravagantly, then there is going to be a problem. But that is not why I'm doing this video. I'm doing this video to share, like I said, my experience with you. So for cost of living, I would say it's relatively okay, right? What I mean by this is I'm able to afford a good life. Like I'm able to afford the basic amenities that I need, which is the most important thing. I did not come here to come and buy Tesla, because Tesla is like pure water everywhere. Like there is literally Teslas everywhere. Let's go back to the video. If you're living within your means, then the cost of living here is great, as long as what you earn per month is able to cater for, number one, the most important thing, housing. I would say generally, from my experience so far here, the most expensive thing is paying for my rent, because really that's the most expensive thing I've paid for since I got here. So I won't give you the actual values, but I'll just give you a scenario, and I hope it explains it better for you in terms of how much you can spend a month compared to your earnings. So if I'm earning 3,000 euros per month excluding tax and everything, this is what I get, my take home, 3k, and I am living in an apartment worth 2,000 euros, right? Every month I'm paying 2,000 euros, and at the end of the day, 1,000 euros is what I need or I have left to take care of like bills, my amenities, like different things, right? If I'm in that kind of situation, then I automatically have set myself up for failure, because really I can't live on 1k a month, especially when there are emergencies, right? And I'm living in an apartment of 2,000 euros. How can you be living in an apartment that is ×2 of what you are taking, like of the money you have left? No, that's a bad financial route to take. Cost of living here is great, like perfect, like everything is accessible. I think I've said this over a million times to people, like everything works here. So when you set a budget and you know that these are the things you want to do in terms of like for house rent, I'm paying this certain amount, for food every month I'm spending this certain amount, and you follow it down strictly, you would definitely live a comfortable life in the Netherlands. There are a couple of things I would like to share with you all, and like so far my experiences in terms of like buying stuff, shopping and the rest, and how much this costs per. I'll shape it down to a month, because last month I have like a running cost of some of the things I spent, so I can give you an overview of that. So let's start from the food and shopping, right? I live alone, meaning that I only cater for one person. So everything I buy, I try to buy them in small quantity. So I only buy the things that I need. Food here is surprisingly cheap. Not like cheap like how you would say cheap in Nigeria. No, food here is quite affordable. Like before I moved here, I was thinking that in a month I would spend like 300 euros on food shopping and everything. But to be honest, I don't see myself spending 300 euros on food, because things here are quite okay, like very affordable. So when I buy stuff, I tend to go grocery shopping like weekly, or sometimes, because it's literally it's like 5-15 minutes away from my apartment, so I just go when I need to buy stuff. So I don't buy things in bulk. No, I don't do that. And that's something I also noticed, that's a culture here. Like people don't buy things in bulk. Like when I go to the supermarket and I see people, in fact the first experience I had in the supermarket was very terrible. I think I should share that. When I went to the supermarket the first night I moved here, I needed to buy stuff so that I can eat for dinner, and I went over. They live like eco-friendly life, so they don't use plastic bags. That's not a thing. Like, you know, in Nigeria when you go to supermarkets, they would pack your stuff in plastic bags for you. Here you hardly see that. You have to bring your own bag, or you buy from the store, and it's either paper bag or like actual bags, not nylon or not cellophane or whatever we call it in Nigeria. So I think that is really nice, and when I saw it I was like, this is nice, because you know, you want to keep the environment clean, and less pollution to the environment is important. Anyway, that was when I saw that people literally don't buy things in bulk like we do in Nigeria. In Nigeria, you see one person with a whole trolley filled with stuff, but here you just see people buying only what they need, and because it's relatively close, like the supermarkets or the grocery shops are very close, so you can always go and buy what you need when you need them, right? And then the first night I actually went to the supermarket, I made a huge mistake, and this is so embarrassing. Anyway, because here where I live, the first thing they speak to you when you're trying to have a conversation with anybody is by default Dutch, until I go ahead and say I don't speak Dutch. Ik net spreek Engels. No, ik net spreek Netherlands. Ik spreek Netherlands. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm trying to say I do not speak Netherlands in Dutch. When you speak English to them, they try to reply you back in English, but if you don't, like if you understand Dutch, then they speak Dutch to you. Anyway, the first night I went to the supermarket, I bought stuff and I had cash with me and I paid with cash. But there was something that I missed out while doing that transaction. I forgot to take my change. And this is funny because I literally had no idea that I could, like there's a coin. So here in the Netherlands or in Europe generally, their denomination for notes starts from 5 euros. So 5 euros downwards is coins. I can't really remember the details, but I know that I left over 6 euros there. This is because the coins that I was supposed to pick up was right there, but I did not know that I could actually just take it, or I did not know that that was what that machine was for. So I just took the 10 euros that she gave me and I left. It was when I got back home, I was looking at the receipt and I was like, okay, I bought this stuff and it was like 4-6 euros and I got 10 euros back. So where's my remaining change? That was when I knew that I had messed up. So that was my first night here, and I literally left my money 6 euros. That's like, my friend told me never to convert to Naira again, but I'm just going to do it for the sake of this video. 6 euros is like over 4k. I left 4k in that supermarket. And this is just one of the weird or the funny experiences I've had here. The next thing I would like to talk about here is the culture shock that I've had since I moved here. There are a couple of things that at first was weird for me, even before I moved. An example is my company and my teammates, we all have like a WhatsApp group, right? And when I was still in Lagos, I was on the group, and whenever any of my teammates is celebrating their birthday or something, well, I'm used to, like, if somebody's celebrating birthday, I'm used to saying happy birthday, right? But in the WhatsApp group, I was just saying congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. I'm like, okay, so congratulations for when you're doing birthday. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it, but it's not something I'm used to saying, so it felt weird. But again, a lot of like people here say that when they're trying to like actually congratulate you, like congratulations. It makes sense, right? But it doesn't make sense at the same time. Oh my god, that's like the first actual culture shock that I had. Another culture shock that I've had is the amount of people cycling in this country. Jeez, it's overwhelming. I'm part of them now. I'm proudly part of those people. I'm now a cyclist, if I may say so myself. But the amount of bicycles in this country is wow. There are more bicycles than there are people. Every single place, like if you look left, there is a bicycle. If you look right, there is a bicycle parking space, literally everywhere. And most people ride bikes here. What shocked me was that they improvised the use of bicycles. In Nigeria, growing up, the notion I had of bicycle is it is what they buy for you as Christmas gifts, or it's like that thing you have as a child. As an adult, you would only use bicycle if you're in the village. People in my village, like farmers, they use bicycle as a means of transport, like going to the farm, coming back, and that is it. Like, and then in Lagos, like a few people actually own bicycles. A few, very few. And maybe because they enjoy just doing it for exercise sake or for leisure, because you hardly see somebody riding bike from like Ikeja to Lekki Phase 1. Do you want to kill yourself? No. So yeah, moving here and seeing this is a normal thing here, that they even improvised the use of bicycles. There is actually different types of bicycles. Like there are electric bikes, there are city bikes, I don't know the entire list of the kind of bikes, but I know those two because I tried to buy a bike once. And they improvise the way you actually use bikes. So there are bikes that actually have crates in front of them, like actual crates that are used for carrying like items. So I have a bicycle now, and I also bought a crate on it. So I put, like, if I go grocery shopping, I usually put the stuff that I buy there. That space is for putting stuff, for carrying stuff. If you don't have the crates, there are some people that also have like bags at the back of the bicycle. So there are 2 bags there where they put stuff when they buy it, right? Then there is also the baby carriage type. Like there are bicycles with like seats in front of them where people put their kids. Like you could even see some with a seat in front and a seat at the back, so you can see literally 3 people on a bike. Where does that happen? 3 people on a bike. There was a day I was going to work and I saw a lady trying to carry like I think she had 3 kids, and she literally had an extra small carriage attached to the bicycle, and it had like glass. It had, oh my god, it was like I was just staring, because I've never seen anything like that before in my life. So I would say culture shock for me was the amount of cycling that happens in this country, and the amount of people that actually do it. There is literally no age range. I have seen like old people, like people that are in their 80s, people that are in their 70s riding bikes. I've seen like children, I've seen parents, I've seen youths, I've seen people like me, like every single person. Like, I love it. Anyway, another one that I would like to mention is the fact that everybody minds their business here. Like, everybody's just going on their own. I don't know, because like I can't really tell, but this is from my experience. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm just talking from experience. If you don't know someone, like in Nigeria, if I'm inside a bus, right, I've traveled to different places in Nigeria, and obviously I've seen different ways people act, because based on the culture of the specific place. Like for somewhere like Lagos, when you enter a bus, expect drama, because like people are ready to just give you that drama. When I lived in Jos, Plateau State, when you're entering a bus, you must like say hello, you must greet. Like, it's not must, but you have to, because it's also something I learned when I moved there. Because anytime I enter a bus, or if I'm already in a bus and somebody should enter, the person will greet, like the person will greet the driver, will greet the conductor, will greet literally everybody in the bus. And that was new for me. So that was a culture shock from living in the north. But bringing that experience down here, right, it's totally different. If you're trying to enter a bus, like nobody is giving you, except you actually politely, like if you make inquiries or ask or start a conversation, but nobody will start a conversation with you. Because it has been my situation. I've been in a situation where I take any public transportation, be it the bus or the tram or the trains. You need to use your card to like check in. If you're in the station, you need to use that card to check in. I mentioned this in my last video. I was in a situation once where I was not supposed to go out through the front door. So when you're leaving the bus, you're only supposed to exit through the back door, not through the front door. And I saw a poster or something, but it was written in Dutch, and I saw X. Like, I did not read it because obviously I could not read. I mean, I understand a few words in Dutch, but I actually cannot read it if I don't use my translator on my phone. So I went all the way to the front to leave the bus through the front door, but the driver refused to open the door for me. And she was just looking at me. No, she wasn't even looking at me. That's the funny thing. She just faced her front. Like, I was saying, and I was putting on a mask. I was speaking English. I was saying she should open the door, let me leave. Like, this is my last stop. This is my bus stop. But she did not want to answer me, because really, you're not supposed to leave through that place. And this is something that somebody, like, when I was walking, because I walked all the way from the back of the bus to the front. When I was walking, somebody would have told me that, okay, you're not supposed to leave through there. But anyway, that was like one experience. I felt like, okay, a lot of people here mind their business. So everybody lives their life, and they just face their front, like mind their business. That's kind of life they live here. I've had several experiences where I was in situations where people could have actually just said, okay, no, you're not supposed to do this. I don't blame them, because really they might not know me, and obviously they don't know me. They might not know that I don't speak Dutch, or I'm new here and there are several things that I'm still trying to learn. So really, I think that's the default mood here. Everybody face your front, everybody mind your business. The major thing that makes me excited every time I think about having to live here for the next few years is that everything works. Like, I've said this, I've told a lot of people this like 1,000 times, that everything works here, and that is the reason why I actually love it. I have never been in a situation where I am trying to get a document in Nigeria and I get it that day, or I'm trying to get a document and I can get it like in a few minutes. It doesn't work. But here, things like that is possible, and it's just because of the way I literally can't compare the way the government works here and the way the government works in Nigeria, really. But there is no shade to my country. I love Nigeria. I love Nigeria. Even though I left, I love Nigeria. But you can't compare the standards. The standards is way higher here. So that is something that I'm very grateful for. When I went to get my resident permit, it took like 10 minutes to get it. That is never something that can happen in Nigeria. I'm just going to stop comparing right now. I'm going to stop it. Okay. Generally, I would say I've settled in quite well. There are a few things that I would like to experience, but I can't, because obviously Corona, and we're on lockdown and I can't go out. I can go out, but I can't go to places that are, you know, sociable. Generally, I would say it's been very nice here, and my experience so far, even though I've had like a little bit of ups and downs, like trying to figure out stuff on my own, making mistakes, making horrible mistakes at that, it has been an amazing experience. I cannot just quantify how much excitement I feel right now just saying that I live here. The first week I came here, I in my head I was like, I'm visiting, I'm going to go back. But now I think my brain has really adjusted to the fact that I live here now and this is my new life. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video with all of my rants. I don't know if I've been ranting the entire time, but I hope you enjoyed it. Looking forward to doing more things, experiencing more things, and sharing more of that with you. So if you like to see more of this in this channel, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bloopers. Enjoy it. Begdant. Thank you all. Good morning. Good middag. Alsjeblieft. Sinaasappel. Ik spreek Engels. Ik spreek Engels. Ik spreek niet Nederlands. Ik spreek niet Nederlands. All bite. That means breakfast. Oh my god, Gift, you're terrible at this. I have a collection. I don't know if you all can see this, but I have a collection of words that I've learned so far.